messaged about.
Yeah, USDCHF, right? Now, it's in a unique or an interesting area right now because, and again, I just kind of, I know people might have been interested in a sell here because that's a really good-ish area to sell. But the problem with that is, obviously, this is what would this red candle suggest if you haven't read rejection, right?
Rejection.
If you haven't read and you know that's rejection. Now, the rejection to the downside is a problem because obviously, if you're trying to sell, you don't want to see the sells being rejected. It kind of come like you are looking to get with a woman and she's interested in another woman. That's a big problem. You understand?
Yep.
You're going to be rejected the same way she's rejecting other men. You understand? If you're looking to sell, you don't want to see things suggesting that the cells are being rejected. It means that your cell could also be equally rejected, right? And that's a big problem. Now, on the 4 time frame, this 4 candle just closed. It closed and just slightly broke above this zone here, all right? But what I'm actually interested in is to see if it could have gotten up to here. However, what might change my mind about that is if now this current candle could actually show only momentum coming back down. The reason why I would allow for that is because I know that at this level, sellers are actively being induced and taken out. That is actually a good sign, right? We know that at this point, sellers would have been interested. Let's even take a look at only 1 minute. Sellers would have been interested all up here. The dealers stayed up there for quite some time, only recently going just even higher before coming back down.
Yep.
What I would actually do now is I'm trying to find an area where I feel like is a pretty safe, what is the word I'm looking for? Like a safe barrier then, right? The safe barrier as in, okay, if price can get into this area and stay in this area or break below this area, that I might feel safe looking for the sell at that level. What I would like to see is it break below a certain level, but with only momentum. So you see how that coming in there? That's kind of problematic. The area that I have in mind would have to probably be this.
But isn't that becomes kind of a bit low as well compared to from stop loss point of view?
Compared to getting in here. Yeah, it is. But remember, it's more the long game we playing. Let's see. So if we could get in here, what are we looking at? That's not a bad dude.
No, 14. Okay. It just looked bigger. So
and you're right. You're right. I mean, getting in here would be good, but this is not confirmation, is it? That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right? You remember, what we really need is confirmation. So a 14 pip stop, in my opinion, actually is not the worst thing that could happen to us if it can get back into this area and stay in this area. But in order for it to get back into this area, I don't want to see it do this and then come here. What I need is for it to just continue to drop. Because the longer it stays up here, is the more sellers getting smart and getting in at a better position. And the more sellers get in, the more or the higher the dealer needs to go to continue taking out those sellers. Agree?
Yeah, totally agree. But isn't that also a possibility that they can actually spike up and drop?
They can, absolutely. But the thing is here, what I'm trying to, and that's exactly why I want momentum to follow in my direction. Because the momentum would tell me that this is the spike out and drop. If it just could, so like the fact that it's going up again, yeah, I'm definitely now being a little more cautious because now it's giving traders. Think about it. Think about how many times on this high. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on this high. 9 minutes. That's 9 minutes of time that you had to make a decision to sell.
Yeah, because people do trade 1 minute.
Not just that. I mean, the fact that it's staying up is so long, it's giving you time to think, right? The question is, do I want you to get time to think, right? In anything, bro, right? The more time someone has to think, the more clarity they can get, right? In sales, this is a very important tactic, right? You see, when the potential client or customer is just about ready to buy, you need to close them right then and there. Because the longer they think about it, guess what? Well, I actually like this other car instead, Maybe I should go and check out that one, right?
Yeah, different
Or,
brand, different
yeah.
place.
Or I don't really like this feature, but the feature in this car instead provided better safety for me and my family. And I like this one, but I feel like you see that? You see that when they reach there, you've lost the sale.
Lot of ifs and buts
Right?
start
Yeah.
coming in.
Correct. So you don't want so exactly that. So do you see this here now? That is problematic. And in a case like this, it kind of justifies why I would actually want the dealer to target up at this high.
Is it
Understand?
aligning with anything?
It is actually.
Hmm.
It's not. Is it daily? All right. So the only reason I put the zone is here because obviously there was price action in that area. But really and truly, what I wanted to tackle right now is that. That's what I wanted to attack. And it's extremely close. It's actually pushing as we speak. But think about all the traders who would have sold here and here and here and here. Just like what you said. Imagine you try to sell up here with that 6, 7 pip stop. Yeah, it's good, but your chances of being
Gone.
out, you're out already because
Yep.
there's not enough confirmation to suggest to you that the sell is ready.
Yeah.
And the longer it stays at this high, the worse it is for traders who are actually interested in the sell but don't have patience. You understand?
Yeah.
That's literally. Go ahead.
But if they reject here, then you will probably would you
So
still wait?
yes, I would because they need to reject it and follow through with what I want. So I don't want to see reject and then it stumble again. I don't want that. Could you repeat to me my law? I haven't made you repeat the law in a very long time. What is my law?
Don't go against the momentum until this reversal is clear.
Absolutely. And what we want is, interestingly enough, momentum.
It's coming strong,
Good.
at least in this case.
That's good. That's exactly what I want to see. Right? Let me just send a little update of this here.
Yeah.
Right? But that is exactly what I want to see. Right? Where the dealer would actively target, he would actively target the high. And the reasoning for that is simple. Anybody who would have been caught selling in here without proper confirmation. Yeah, that is what this move is intended for. Now that I know that, because sellers are definitely trying here still, and they're being taken out as it keeps going higher. Eventually, when the dealer feels like he's caught them enough, or he has enough of that sell momentum, that sell liquidity, sorry, right, is when he will decide to drop it. But I will only begin my pursuit of the actual sell entry when I see momentum in my favorite direction. All right, meaning nothing suggests buys.
But that widens our stop loss as well now.
No, because my stop loss goes above this high now. Wherever, so let me explain. So if now we see something like this, and then this, and then this, and then this, my stop loss. So if I enter, let's just say I were to enter here, right? My stop loss goes above here. It's simple. But that is if I dub this to be the stop hunt. You understand? And in this case, my stop loss is what? 12 pips. It's actually less than what it could have possibly been before.
Yeah.
But that is only if I deem this to be what I think is the stop hunt, which I do not, at least not yet. There's no momentum in my favor direction.
And they're staying there again. They're staying at the top of week.
Well, we don't know yet. We don't know. We obviously still have to watch to see what happens in a few candles. But this is at its core exactly what I mean when I see and when Warren Buffett said, this market is a machine that transfers wealth from the impatient to the patient. Remember we said this, I think we said this on Friday or Thursday, that the people who go first are the ones that lose.
Yeah.
That's exactly the case. Anybody who sold already without having confirmation, unless you have a really, really, really wide stop loss, if you sold without proper confirmation, you're already out. Unless you have a really wide stop loss, you are already out. You've already lost. All right. So far, these three candles seem okay, but remember what I want, because what could be very interesting is it could tackle here. Remember, the area that I'm really looking at is above this. So I want to see now how it reacts to this. Does it just blow through this, which would be the previous high? That. You see that? That's a problem.
Mm.
You understand?
But as long as it closes red and keep going down.
Keep going down, I'm happy. Right? But I don't want to see things suggesting to me that it is going to go back up or it is rejecting the downside. That's okay. That's okay. It's slowing down, but obviously it could increase at any time. Volume could increase at any time, right?
Yep.
But volume is decreasing here, by the way.
You can clearly see that.
Right? So volume is decreasing here.
Numbers changing significantly.
Right?
So the candle is not even lifting or shifting at all.
Correct. You understand?
Just sitting there.
This is exactly how I approach execution now, right? With the ability to wait and relax and wait and wait and wait. And it don't frustrate me, you know. It don't frustrate me. If it happen, it happen. If it don't, it don't. Right? But you see how many updates I sent in that group this morning?
Yeah.
So let me count them. I'll tell you. So you can kind of get ideas to the how my mind works, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I ain't in the trade yet. That is how far my mind goes before I even reach in the trade. Because I'm watching to see what happens. Now, a lot of traders, they see it looking like it's going down. Right, okay, cool. Let me go.
No,
Right?
but that
Yeah, let me
bullish
go.
was strong.
Right here.
And again.
You understand? But that's not how it's supposed to be done, in my opinion. That is not how it's supposed to be done. And this is not a good sign either.
No, that coming back out again is not good. That's just covering the whole wick and body just on that candle.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
So even this now, I'll actually remove this because that zone is no longer important.
Now that zone becomes the next one.
Correct.
Which is here. Just above that middle zone. Or you are... Technically, that zone becomes more valid now.
This zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If now it can get to where I want it to go, which is up here, take out, and then start to drop, this is the zone I would actually be looking for the sell on.
Yeah.
Right? Or, pending how price reacts to this, if it consolidates here, my zone, believe it or not, could even be right there. Could even be right here.
Yep.
Right? But obviously, everything is based on however it creates, what it creates and how it creates it.
True.
Right? So let's change the perspective a little bit here now. Right. So that's definitely not suggesting sells at the moment. Not suggesting sells, not suggesting sells, not suggesting sells. All right. Even the structure is not one that is strongly suggesting sells right now. But we know USDCHF is a bear market. So at some point it is going to sell. All right. The question is where? That's the question, right? It could be now doing exactly what I just said, where it could be starting to try to accumulate in this area. You see, vision is another thing that you need to understand. You need to have a good understanding of what could possibly happen before it does. Not to see if you can get in before anything, just so that you can understand context. You understand? Context is extremely important for anything, right? Imagine now you were learning to trade, right? But you came into this class midway through the class, and we talking about we talking about sex, and we talking about how relationships are, and you don't understand the context. You get confused, right?
Yeah.
But if you understand the context, it becomes a lot easier to follow what is happening. Agree?
Yeah. True, because then we see it where it's applicable.
Correct. Right. So still not convincing. Definitely still not convincing. All right.
The rejection looks good, but
I
the pull
disagree.
wasn't.
I disagree. I actually think that the rejection. I'm interested to see if it spikes this to go up higher.
Yeah, no, I mean, what I mean to say is the previous rejection looks good,
This one here.
only up to only up to that black candle.
Yeah. The first black candle there. Agreed.
Yes, because that came strong, and then that's end of the game. Now
Agreed.
they might go down, but I still feel positive about going back up. If going
If
back up, break past that wick, which we just talked about, which could be this candle doing it.
so you see how more or less it's still within the confines of the consolidation that I just drew here. Right?
Yeah.
Now, could it break out? Absolutely. Where is it going to break out? We don't know. But it is within the confines of the consolidation still. All right. It's definitely not suggesting sells at this moment, but it is suggesting to me that it is consolidating, insinuating that it's either building up momentum, liquidity to follow suit of a direction, or it wants to grab to keep going higher. And if it grabs to keep going higher, then we have a new problem. Why is it taking liquidity from the downside in a bear market? It's because the trap is not even ready to be snapshot yet. So in a case like this, if it grabs liquidity from down here to go up, I would not be surprised if it gets here and continues higher.
Yeah, because they might be making that way.
So far, that's kind of a problem. Because now
That's a problem.
yeah, so any traders who took buys here, if your stop loss was really tight, because there are scalpers who do that, right? Stop loss was really tight, yeah. That's kind of a problem for us as a seller, because this is a move that is insinuating buys. Now, we don't just throw it away because we see that, because it still could get ticked and then go up, right? We want to see what it does up here. Does it tick and go up and then come back down? But looking at it right now, definitely not ready for the sell.
I'm thinking maybe this might be aligning on something, maybe 30-minute or hourly chart on the left. There must be a zone sitting here.
Yeah, probably, but it's definitely not one that is prominent. It's definitely not one that's prominent. Oh, what is that?
Rejection, that cross, whatever you want to call it, and then this zone.
And you see how long it's taken to get to my level as well?
Yeah.
That says a few things. One could be saying that it doesn't want to go there at all, so I am wrong. It could also be saying that it's taking long to get there because when it gets there is action, meaning that when it gets there, it's not going to fuck around. It's going to go there, take what it has to take, and then get the fuck out. Meaning it's going to go right there, take what it has to take, and then drop, which is a good thing for us, right? Or three is going to go there, and it's only bunching up here because it's a precursor to what is the actual trajectory, which is bulls. I could be wrong about the direction, but the thing is, I know that I'm not going to take a trade until I am sure about it following my directional bias. Because even though I could lose the trade, I'm trying to mitigate that ability to lose as much as possible. You understand?
This one coming back. But they're staying too long
They are.
again.
So it's definitely not. It's not strengthening my
Opinion
my opinion or my bias for
bias.
sell. It's actually making me feel that buys are more on the table. All right. The question is, how far is it going to buy to? That's the real question. Is it going to buy to my level?
On this pair, it seems weird because left seems pretty clean.
Good. That's a good observation. But to the right, it's not. Suggesting that there's something, some dirty trick happening here.
Yeah.
Right? It clean over there because it was never a trap over there to begin with. All right.
Yeah.
That was basically the structure of the trap. This is actually the beat happening here now. Right? It's still in this consolidation zone. I would not actually, looking at it now that it has broken below the zone a few times, I would actually increase the zone like this. Because it didn't really have a clear break per se.
Just consolidating on 1 minute.
Yeah, it's still consolidating. Right? Definitely consolidating there.
Should be a wick on 15 minutes, I guess.
And that's exactly why, yeah, probably a week on the 15. That's exactly why you wait, because you're watching to see how it's functioning. What is it doing? You can't know what it's doing by just watching one candle. You have to watch a few candles, not so?
Yeah, at least I would say if a good trade you want to watch. I mean, technically, we want or we expect or we possibly expect less candles in that area because that calls it, that forms part of good trade.
Correct.
But the more we watch is good for us because sometimes, like in this case, watch and the Euro CHF we looked at, it's just few candles plays and does the whole job, whether you go stay in or not.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Correct. Right. And with this, what's interesting about this is the fact that it's consolidating here so long is definitely suggesting to us that it's trying to accumulate excuse me, liquidity of some sort, because now think about traders at this high.
Yeah. Which
So
they
now,
already
yeah,
taking out now.
right. So now, definitely, this zone is no longer the zone of interest. It's actually the bottom of this consolidation, if it could break out up there. So I'm looking definitely at this now. That's what I'm looking at.
That's going out.
Right. I just need for it to wait to trigger that alert, and let's see how it functions. If it triggers this alert, I do not see it triggering the alert and dropping. I see it going above this and then dropping. The reason why is the alert is the absolute low of a candle over here. That's this candle. I actually do not see price hitting this absolute low and then just randomly dropping. I see it makes more sense for it to hit that low and then go even a little higher than that. You understand?
Yeah. But this, the move is, that is kind of in the same area. Almost.
What do you mean?
Where the candle is high, the previous high.
This?
Yeah.
I don't understand what you mean.
I mean, what I mean to say is that the previous high has been taken out again.
Yeah. They out already. They for sure. They have no question about that. They done taken out already. But you remember what I think the dealer is trying to do here is capture that last bit of whatever he could get so that he could actually use as much as he can. I don't know about you. When I go to the gas station, I fill that gas tank till gas coming out the nozzle in. Do you do that?
But they say don't do it.
That's their
I do it. My wife it.
That's their fucking business. I'm paying for my gas. I want it. I fill that.
They say what?
They say what? Right, so it just
Isn't
triggered.
it they say is like cause your engine
Not to my knowledge.
have issues? I don't know. Someone
Not,
was mentioning.
definitely not to my knowledge. Right, but okay, so let me send that alert there now. Right, so pricing area of interest.
What do you reckon? This is gonna give you a chance? Think so. So technically, in 2 to 3 minutes, maybe
Yeah,
4 max, it should have the opportunity presented.
that's not.
Yeah, sure. My USDCHF got triggered. Okay.
Right, so
So
now
while it's interesting. Now I got my USDCHF alert triggered as well, and Euro USD.
EU.
Yeah, EU. I had it for some reason.
EU is not of anything interesting to me. EU is just bearish at this point, but it's a bull market. So I'm not even gonna waste my time on this.
I don't know why I had the alert though.
Right. So you see that? You see that? You see that? That is
Yeah.
what I want. That is what I want. Yes, go above it. Go. Absolutely. Now, if it starts to drop from here, then I'll be looking for myself. I'm looking for myself in one of two areas, either here or here. See that? That is a good sign. So I'm looking for the sell here or here. So I'm actually preparing full disclosure for my opportunity. Right? Still watching that candle. I don't want to see things like that. I definitely don't want to see that. But obviously, we're watching it to see how it reacts, how it behaves. You're muted.
Because that's where you would see. That's, at the moment, it's like doing stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm. If it keeps going up from here, the only thing I would do is I would set an alert. I would actually set the alert at, you know what? I think I'll just move it to here. Let me see if we can come back into the zone because it's clear out of the zone now for sure. So let me see if we can come back in. So I'm going to remove this. I'll leave that consolidation there. We look at the 15. So that's a clear break above 30. 1 more. 4. But so far, it's actually behaving almost exactly what I intended. The only problem I have at this point is this. I'm actually going to update with that now.
Because that can cause issues.
Yeah. Ah, yes.
It did what you wanted to do.
So let's monitor. I tell you, I don't know if you've seen, if you could see this. Right?
I can.
I am at the ready. I'm waiting for them here. Right? So let me see. That is exactly it. That is it. That is it. So if I could get it here, stop loss above here, 6 pips. What lot size is that equal for me? 56 lots. All right, cool. 56 lots. Holy shit. Right? Come on. One down. One down. Let's give him one candle down. I just need one. One. I just need to come into here and close. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes. Come, Ravi. Sing it with me. Sing it with me, boy.
Go down, go down. Those go down.
Right? But you see that here?
Push down, push down.
You see how it's still trying to reject the downside?
They have to. Isn't that they have to show it?
They have to, yes, but if it closes like that, it creates problems.
But if it closes like that, that's nice.
That is a problem. I wouldn't really treat it as a problem until I see how the next candle closes after that. But because that's a
exactly that's a retest. So that's exactly right. So they're not doing nothing wrong in that. If the next one breaks it,
yes, if the next one goes back up from here, we still don't have it.
go down, push down and out, down, not wrong way. You're going wrong way.
Wrong way.
Make a U-turn.
Like, I don't know, you feel like you have to blow it like
Blow it like pushing it from the top and it's going down.
Like you take something and fan it, like, no, wrong way.
I got this pen. I got this pen, little pen.
Yeah, blow it.
Put it on the top so it goes down.
Yeah, put the fan on the top of the screen and like blow down.
Right. That actually used to work. I've seen it so many times.
Right, so
actually say
7 seconds. Let's watch this candle. That's good.
Ooh.
That's real good. That's the sell.
Ooh.
That's the sell. If it closes like that, that's the sell.
Did you sold it?
No, it hasn't closed yet. Let me just watch this quickly. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Right, so let me just update. Oh, nope. Wrong way. Wrong way.
No, that's not nice. They can still come strong. They are having fun.
They are. But you see, what's happening here is it's still inducing buyers.
Well, now they're inducing buyers all the time now because stopping out sellers but inducing buyers.
Yeah. I believe sellers are dead at this point. But dealer is having some fun with the buyer. Not yet. Still not yet. I needed to get into this zone. That I don't like that. It has to reject this high and get into that zone. If it does not get into the zone within a minute or two, this opportunity here is invalid.
Because that way, that's too long, and then that goes against. That goes against the rule. It's going too hard. It's just about to close. I don't see that a possible high
That's
the way
not.
they're doing it.
The other option is a double top, but I'm not that hopeful for it. Right? The other option is this. One of my students just messaged me. He's like, he on the edge watching this USDCHF. He's like, you're watching like a football game. That's literally what it feels like
Uh,
right now. Like it's like, come on, score the damn goal. Score. What are you doing?
that's what they're doing.
Right? So like maybe something like this. But I'm not that hopeful. I feel like the opportunity has been missed.
That's the right missed one.
Yeah. So like if it does
Correct,
drop,
correct missed.
if it honestly doesn't drop here, doesn't create a double top and drop here, I'll disregard. And I'll say that. Let me say that. So it got back to the high. Let's see how it reacts.
If it checks, that's what we need. Ooh. What does that?
Disregard. Wait, no. Give it a second also.
Give it one more chance. 3 more
Disregard.
minutes.
Nah. That's not a double top. That at this point, I think that's a clean break above the high. It is kind of closes in a minute. That is, I don't see. I really don't see it.
That changes the zone as well again.
I can't see that. But it just goes to show. So let me see how it behaves here. It just goes to show how you could literally analyze and analyze and analyze and wait. Yeah. It just goes to show you can analyze and analyze and analyze and get nothing from it. You understand?
But that's the name of the game. Sometimes we just
Correct.
will be watching setup, but if it's not playing, what's the point? I think technically, if I look at from where we started looking, we could have sold it probably 1, maybe 2, and this could have been probably possibly if someone is selling back to back, maybe third entry right where it is now,
Yep.
rejecting the top.
Yep.
So what's the point of losing 3 trades and then where we should not be in? We just watched it, but we didn't get into the first one in first place.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Mm.
Yum.
Mm.
That's yummy. They come strong, they're going to go strong.
Wait. What is my stop loss if I try it? Let's see here. Same 6.
Okay, stop loss will be at 27, 28, I think.
Yes, no.
I think if they go to that one, I might sell it.
I have to see how it's behaving, please. So
Did it sold?
yeah.
Let's see. That's gonna take us. Where did you put a stop loss? 28, I think. 28 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, 20.
So my stop loss is at 88280.
280. Yeah, 28. Just. Oh, that's out.
So, but you see how differently timing is?
Yeah. They're gonna go past this time.
We don't know. You see, so you see what you're saying there? That going to, they're going to, we don't know. We don't know. That's why I like, honestly, that's not enough to say this. So interesting, definitely interesting. Where I'm actually looking at it coming back to minimum would probably be like here, which is a 1 to 7, just about.
Yeah, but possibility is going further down. If it's, we're right about the direction, and it's gonna go that way.
Yeah. Any questions?
Okay. I think it was good to see it live.
It was fun. I could say that. I genuinely always enjoy like this, doing this. Right? Like you see, I have to wait and figure it out and try and understand what it's doing and why it's trying to do it. It's fun. It's really, really fun, but we don't know. So at this point now, I'm in. I am not going to frustrate myself to see if I could try to keep up with it or anything like that. I'm going to the gym.